Hey guys, it's Dalton with DT's Cool Cards, where I want to grow DT's Cool Cards into a 1 million annual revenue Pokemon business by December 31st, 2028 by maximizing existing sales channel, building an engaged community through social media, and exploring underutilized sales channels to expand brand awareness, customer reach, and profitability. But on the real, guys, this is Dalton with DT's Cool Cards. And today what I want to talk to you guys about is setting goals, right? Most of the time when you set a goal for your business or for yourself, you're going to say, like I say on the beginning of every single video, I say I want to build a $1 million Pokemon business. However, is that really a good goal? Heck yeah, I'd love to have a $1 million Pokemon business, what I'm working on every single day. But is it smart? So when you say a smart goal, you're taking something that's really non-specific. You're just kind of saying something we all say, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to bench 225. I want to, run a mile, whatever the case is. But when you apply the SMART acronym thingamabobber, whatever it is to it, it makes that goal much more tangible and much more achievable. And I don't know about you guys, definitely when I was younger, I loved typing things, right? I hated writing things. But now I'm so much better when I write things down. Maybe it's because I don't like writing, that the more that I write things down, the easier it is for me to execute. So today I want to take you through a very simple goal of I want to build a $1 million Pokemon business into something a little bit more structured, and then add some tactics to it to where you guys could apply it to your business as well. So from the jump, guys, I said that I wanted to build a $1 million annual revenue Pokemon business by December 28th by maximizing existing sales channel, blah, 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 blah. So go back and rewatch that again. Now, did I use ChatGPT to write some of this? Yes, I did. However, in my previous life, we had to make a business plan every single year. Now, what I'm going to talk to you about is not really a business plan, and I love Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers to my core, but what they asked us to do is not really a business plan. A business plan is something that you would supply to your school to get your master's, or that you would supply to a bank if you wanted to get an SBA, which is a small business loan, or if you wanted to give it to your wife so she doesn't kill you by having a Pokemon business and that's the only income that you have. What we're going to talk about more is like a business tracker, right? And to start off tracking your business, you have to have a goal, a SMART goal. So the first letter in the acronym SMART is S, and S stands for specific. So out of that half paragraph goal that I sent you or talked to you guys about, is it specific? And the answer is yes. I clearly stated that I want to grow DT's Cool Cards into a Pokemon business, and I talked about pretty much how I was going to do it, right? Sales channels that I'm currently using, growing a social media audience or community, and then the last part was new sales channel. Again, even that small part sounds so much better than I want to build a $1 million Pokemon business. The next part, is it measurable? Yes, it is. I want to build a $1 million business. If you wanted to bench 225, you wouldn't just say I want to bench more. You would say you make it measurable. I want to bench 225, right? I used to work out, not so much anymore. There's no way I haven't even come close to that in the 10 years that I actually worked out. The next part, is it achievable? Now, you're always told growing up that you can do and achieve whatever you want to achieve and do. And I agree that 100%. However, you have to make it realistic, which is another one of these letters, but is it achievable? Do I think building a $1 million business on Pokemon is achievable? Heck yes, I do. Other people are doing it, and I know what I'm good at. I know my skill set, I know my tool set, and I'm already doing it. I'm already building towards that goal. I'm already selling. Last year I had 200,000 in sales. I'll probably do around 400, 450 this year, depending on how things play out, et cetera, et cetera. I've already started building content. Now, granted, it's not super in-depth or super long or super detailed or hell, any good, but I am doing it. And then I've already built revenue before. In my previous life, I always was able to build sales wherever I went. And then obviously with this business, I started it from, 0 to, 200,000 last year. R stands for relevant. And this goal is relevant to my life, to what I have going on right now, to my career. I want to grow my business. I want to make extra money and bring in and grow my income. And then for me as the social media part, I want to build a brand. I want to build a brand because I don't know how I want to do it or how I'm gonna not benefit from it, but I want to help people. I love teaching people things. I love helping people things. And also I love the Yapp nonstop. The last part is expanding my customer base. So we don't know what it's going to look like in the next couple of years with Pokemon business and stuff like that. However, I know that for me to build a long-term sustaining business, I have to have customers and I have to build a customer base, right? Now, the last part for T is time bound, right? Is there a time component? And so the answer is yes. So by the end of 2028, which is what, a year and a half, whatever it is, that's when I want to be able to say, okay, I built $1 million business. So the time component is there. So you want to add that to your own business. I'm not smart enough or I'm not smart enough or detailed enough to be able to do one on the fly. Feel free to leave one in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to help you build it and format it, just because it is a lot. When you are thinking about building or making a goal and building a business, you have to really use a different part of your brain that you don't normally use, right? When I was making my first business plan for Raising Cane's, and really a bunch of them afterwards, again, not really a business plan, more of a business tracker, it was so difficult for me to distinguish what is a goal, what is an objective. And I think everyone understands like what a tactic is. If you want to bench 225, well, one of the tactics is you have to eat more food, right? You have to be in a caloric surplus. However, objectives and goals were really, really difficult for me to wrap my head around. Think of the difference between goals and tactics as the goal is pretty much the destination, and then your objectives is like the journey to get there, right? So if you wanted to do $1 million in sales, one of your objectives, here's the other part, you break it down into quarters, right? Because there's 4 quarters in a year. So let's say you want to increase your sales quarter 1 by, let's just say $50,000, right? So that objective number 1 is going to be, well, what I just said, right? So how are you going to do that? Tactic 1, right? Boom, 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 boom. Tactic 1 might be to plug your TCG Player Pro site, 2 times a day. It might be to post on Instagram 2 times a day. If you wanted to go the objective of building your subscriber base on YouTube, maybe it's tactic number 1 is I want to post 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And then you would ramp that up throughout the year, right? So quarter 1, let's say you want to post twice a week. Quarter 2, you want to post 4 times a week. Quarter, whatever number I said, the next quarter you want to do it 5 times a week. So think of it like that, guys, when you're building a business, because you can go into this and play whack-a-mole, which is really one of the main reasons why I never grew and excelled in at my last job was I was always too busy playing whack-a-mole. If you look in my office, you can tell that I play whack-a-mole every single day. I have a bed right here that I can't sleep in if I needed to because there's crap all over it. Even today, I was like, okay, I'm gonna list all these Japanese double rares, right? Well, then the Adderall kicked in and I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. I want to list all these vintage, either first edition or shadowless cards. And then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to continue to list all of my vintage Japanese cards. So when you look at like building tactics, one of the tactics for me should be to list, let's say I list 200 cards a day. Let's say I list 50 condition cards a day. Or it can be, because listing Japanese cards is a little more difficult with SwordSwift than it is with English. Maybe I list 150 English cards, 100 Japanese cards, and then 50 condition cards. Whatever it is, you have to have a very systemic approach to your day-to-day activities, and really, you wouldn't call it running a shift, but just your work day. Because the more you structure it, the better you are going to be to achieve it. And then if you're anything like me, you love seeing the check marks. You love seeing things get like striped out or knocked out. You know what I mean? It adds, it's like sweeping the floor. I may not be the biggest fan of sweeping, but I love seeing the floor after you sweep it. I love it seeing it be swept. So really, I think that's all I have for you guys today. I would really challenge you guys to build goals. and don't use it to just one part of your life with building a business. I'm on a weight loss journey right now. I've lost like 30 pounds in the last 3 or 4 months. However, I could have lost a lot more, and I could have put myself in a better place physically and like emotionally, mentally, or whatever, if I added just a little more specificity. That's actually a word, by the way. If I added just a little bit of specificity to it, I'd be in a better place. So once again, guys, Dalton with DT's Cool Cards. I have a jack ton of sealed on my TCG player store, so go check it out. Have a good one, guys. Hey, I've seen my views go up. I've gotten more subscribers, so it's pretty cool. I really appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day.